welcome to a new episode of Echelon Talk. My name is Mariana, your host for Echelon Talk interviews featuring different Echelon chapters across the country. As you can see, we are so excited to be filming from the Salvation Army's national headquarters directly from the Zumaya Group studios. And with me, I have a very special guest, Kally Behen. Welcome to Echelon Talk.
Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here.
I'm so excited to get to know you a little bit better, and our viewers, I'm sure, want to get to know you.
Absolutely.
So if you can please tell us more about who you are and what your connection to Echelon
Of course.
is.
Absolutely. I came to Echelon through actually a corporate connection. I am the current acting virtual president for San Diego. I have been the president for the last 2 years. I was involved through a company program where we went and stuffed stockings for Christmas through Deloitte. Their partnership was great with that local chapter. I got involved there and then ended up becoming the president there. And then essentially we kind of developed the chapter through COVID and had a bunch of virtual events, and it's been a huge growing chapter.
So you were telling us about launching a chapter, and this is the San Diego chapter, is that correct?
Correct.
Can you tell us more about what that entailed?
Absolutely. So our chapter kind of got its initial start in December of 2019. Obviously, leading up to future events was not telling at the time, but being fully launched in February, we essentially started in the midst of COVID. So a lot of our opportunities and our goals had shifted. So we ended up doing virtual events. We held a virtual summer camp for the kids who couldn't go. We recorded stories and songs. We did can opener drives. We did beautification projects, social distance, of course. Essentially, we reached out to seniors. We did a drive-by parade for the Door of Hope. Everything you could possibly think of. One of our amazing members has a real cosplay leather costume for Captain Marvel, and she actually was the character for our drive-through parade. So just being the strength for the community in a virtual and socially distanced way.
Yeah.
We have a really solid group of primary members that show up, and they're excited to be there, and we have a lot of energy, and it's really great to see them put that into the community.
That's great. So even in the midst of the pandemic, you guys still showed up for your community, and you still gave back to your community. So that's great.
We did really well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But I've learned that you recently relocated
Correct.
to Seattle.
Yes.
Are you involved with Echelon there?
I am. So that is a budding project.
Okay.
It was a chapter that was beginning to develop, and with COVID, obviously, lots of things happened. So I'm working closely with Lisa Borders, and we actually have our first in-person socially distanced meeting next week. So we are going to be meeting and scheduling out the rest of the events for future dates, and we're really excited to get that launched again. And that's something that's my home community. I'm from Washington originally, and I had lived in San Diego for 5 years. So having roots in both San Diego and Seattle, it'll be really nice to help launch Seattle's as well.
Oh, that's great. So congratulations.
Thank
for
you.
that.
Thank you. We're excited.
And in addition to being involved now with 2 Echelon chapters under your belt,
Yes.
now you're also part of ELC.
Correct.
So can you tell us more about your position there in ELC
Absolutely.
and what is it that you do?
Absolutely. So when I was in my previous corporate position, I was closely involved with a lot of our philanthropic endeavors, so our Black Action Council and all of our volunteering. And something that's really important to me is diversity and inclusion. And just through the channels and just the work that I was doing in San Diego, it was brought to my attention that they have a diversity, equity, and inclusion position that was open. And I happened to apply for it, hoping that I could put my efforts to use. And I ended up getting the position and becoming the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Chair for the ELC.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so-
Congratulations.
Thank you
on
very
that
much.
as well.
Thank
so
you.
many good things happening in your life. That's great. And so you're involved with Echelon in many different ways.
Correct.
Can you share personally what it's meant for you and what kind of experiences have touched you personally?
Absolutely. As someone who is the Diversity and Inclusion Chair, I am somebody who brings that outside perspective. I don't have a specific religion that I align myself with. I bring that outside perspective in terms of access to the community through corporate ventures, through just young people. There's a huge untapped source there, and it's really exciting to be able to take people that I know that share the same values of doing good, doing the most good,
Yes.
throughout all of their channels and turning that into something in both
Right.
San Diego, Seattle soon, and just on a national level. Obviously, the events of the last couple of years have been eye-opening, and if I can be a sounding voice to help push everything forward, that's why I'm here.
Oh, Well, thank you very much for being here.
Of course.
And now that you mentioned other young professionals, I'm sure there are some viewers who might be intrigued and want to also make a difference in their local community, including Seattle.
Absolutely.
Can you tell us how they can find you, how they can connect with you to get that chapter launched?
Yeah. So the easiest way to connect with me is on LinkedIn. I have a very unique name, so if you just copy and paste it and put it in the LinkedIn search engine, you will be able to find me. Feel free to add me and send me a message. I would be happy to reach out and help you. And if you have local chapters, I can help, connect you with the right people. Or if you want to come be part of my chapter, just let me know.
So, Kally, it's been great having you here, sharing all your experiences, working with different Echelon chapters, and making a difference in your communities wherever you go.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
And if you're interested in joining a local chapter in your area, please visit the website below. And if you want to get involved in Seattle, please reach out to Kally. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.